Alrighty, we are back, and in today's video, we are going to be going over the summonable LRs in Dokkan in sort of a top 10 format, but not really. It's going to be a little bit closer to a tier list format. And recently, this will be important. You'll understand why in a moment. I was watching a video from a Brave Souls creator, and he was talking about how the attribute tier lists that he does are basically for newer players to understand units that they pulled and where they rank amongst the game. So I thought that would be a good idea to go ahead and use like a sort of universal tier list and sort of update it as the game goes on and things like that. So that is sort of what I want to do here with the summonable LR tier list. Now, I'm sure as most of you guys know, a lot of my viewers are players who are just coming into the game or people that support me that have been playing for a while, which I'm grateful for each and every one of you. But I'm trying to make that point and emphasize the fact that beginners are joining us all the time. So I think it's important to have sort of a benchmark LR tier list so that way you guys can have a better picture of units that you have that are good, units you have that are not good. If you pulled an LR, you could check here. If you pulled an LR there, you could check there. And it's a really good sort of idea and concept. So that is what I'm going to be doing in this video. This is also because of the fact that I've been like 0 for 4 on my last top 10 LRs list. So I think rather than doing a top 10 this time, I'm going to do a tier list and just make things a little bit more simple because I've just been taking L after L after L on my top 10s because I have to get them out a little bit early. Otherwise, the video will get destroyed by the YouTube algorithm. So let's go ahead and get started with today's list. Now, I have broken down the list into multiple tiers. The first one is the D tier or C. I forget exactly. I think it's C or D. That is going to be the not good right now tier, and that could mean either they've gotten a buff and they're not good, or they're waiting on an easy A or super easy A, or they've gotten that easy A and they're just not good, and we just are going to have to wait because technically a unit in Dokkan always has a chance to come back with it, whether it be an easy A, and especially now with a super easy A. The kiss of death for a character right now is a bad super easy A, so just keep that in mind. The next tier is going to be the okay tier. The one after that is going to be good. The one after the good tier is going to be great. The one after great is going to be amazing. And then the last tier, Z tier, is going to be best of the best. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop in, and we have the first tier here, which is going to be the bad for now tier. So we're going to briefly go over the characters in this one. We'll break it down tier by tier. You can kind of see who's on the next one. That's okay. We'll do, what if we do this? No, it's too much. So we do something like that. Can I scroll down just like a little bit more so you guys can't see it entirely? Yeah, something like that. Perfect. Keep in mind, these are also not ranked. This is the bad for now tier of summonable LRs. We have LR Ultimate Gohan, who I think could be very good with an easy A. We have Physical Trunks, who is waiting on a super easy A, doesn't really have much utility anywhere. Beast Gohan at least can nullify Ki Blast supers, and he does have introductory guard, so that is a pretty important mechanic if you guys don't know. So he's not good, but he does have like some usage that you could have. He has a really good animation with the Beast Special Beam Cannon if you want to watch it in an easy event. Something like that I think wouldn't be the end of the world. Next up, Goku and Frieza. This unit is waiting on their super easy A. They were the first summonable LR easy A during the 6-year anniversary. So that was pretty cool, but unfortunately, the super easy A is definitely on the table for them whenever that could be. It could be like during a Universe 7 themed anniversary or GDC or TDC, whatever you want to call it. Just depends on what the campaign could be. Next up, we have GT Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Now, you might be saying, Vilify, he was really good when I was using him on the GT Heroes team during GDC. Well, the fact that he is down here is because of the fact that was based on limited time buffs. So with limited time buffs coming from GT Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, it did make things a little bit tricky, and now he is back to being not very good. Physical Cell has an AoE in some usages in the World Tournament. I also realized you can't see the tier name. What if we do this? There we go. Something like, oh, no, it's because of OBS. Yeah, so what we'll do while I'm talking here, we have this... the Tournament of Power is where you can really get some usages out of our boy Final Form Cell here. But again, I don't really think he's worth like running on a team or anything like that at the moment. He's just not the best. So just keep that in mind. He's like just okay. I'd say he's outright bad right now, but he does have potential in the future, I guess, to be a little bit better. But I doubt we're going to be seeing that anytime soon. But you never know with this game. It always has a surprise up its sleeve, if you will. So bad for now is where that cell is going to be. Trunks and Mai have limited usage against Future Saga enemies. LR Bardock is just not good. Beerus and Whis are just not good. Goku Black and Zamasu, we were hoping was going to get an easy A. during the Global Dokkan campaign, but we did not get it. Bojack and the Year 3 LRs are waiting on their Super EZAs. Super 17 and Tapion and Minosha are two of the few summonable LRs left that do not have their EZAs at this point. We are waiting on the Super EZAs for the Go Bros as well as Kale and Caulifla, and that could be a very long time because their EZAs, all things considered, are not that old. And then we also have Super Saiyan 4 Goku, who was in the limited time buff category with our boy Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Now, coming up on this one as well, we have STR Full Power Frieza, at Dragon Fist Goku. You could probably put Dragon Fist Goku in okay, but I think he's probably around the same level of like Physical Ultimate Gohan, where it's like he can be good, but we shall see. Next up on the list, I have STR Broly. Now, if someone is watching this video later and they leave a comment, I'm just going to, like, if I see it, I'm going to reply with a timestamp of when I'm talking about this. STR Broly is going to get his Super EZA in 3 days. So we can just like put him up at the top here, right? He is very TBD. You know what? Actually, I'm just going to put this right here, and we're going to leave this for somebody that scrolls on the end. TBD, and we'll put, we know he is getting a Super EZA. So we'll just put him below everything because we know what he's getting. But with this character, when he gets a Super EZA, I'm sure he's going to go up. Then with Baby here and the GT Trio, limited time buffs for Baby. The GT Trio already got their EZA. Goku and Piccolo still need their EZA. Goku and Gohan. All of these characters here, minus like a few of these. So if we kind of sort them like this, we go like that. This is going to look a little bit better with LRs that have still yet to receive their EZA. So this is what the bad for now tier is going to look like. Units that just do not have a ton of stuff going on, at least in terms of like what they're doing at the moment. But an EZA can easily save this character. There's no such thing as an EZA that cannot save a character. In Dokkan, right? That's just not the way the game operates. You could give the character something really good. In theory, they could EZA this Super Boo, and his attack stat goes up to 200 million turn 1. He has 90% damage reduction for 9 turns, right? Like, they could do a lot of things, in theory, with an EZA. So never say never with an EZA. All of these, I think, potentially could be pretty damn good. Ones that I would really watch out for are going to be this Bird Coup because of his revive, the GT Duo because of their revive, this Goku and Gohan are going to be pretty incredible. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I think, is going to be pretty good when he gets his EZA. And then the Boo Duo as well for the Festival of Battles, I think, could be interesting as well. But I think really all of these LRs from Goku and Piccolo onwards are going to be in that tier of like, when they get their EZA, they're going to be pretty incredible. And then with these other ones from this half up, we are still waiting for their Super EZA. So if we did something like this, it would look a little bit like that, right? So like Super EZAs all down here, and then EZAs all down here. So that's going to do it for the C tier, the bad for now units. Let's go ahead and move on to the B tier, and that is going to be the okay one. So again, you're going to be able to see a little bit of what we're talking about. So if we just do something like that, there we go, just like that. So the okay tier is LRs that are good. They have their moments, but they are definitely not in modern power creep right now. You can put them on a team, but they're still probably going to lose you most of the events. Most of the time you run them. So if you're running them in modern content, they're really unrunnable, but they're also just like okay characters with decent leader skills and stuff like that, that you can get away with running in limited quantities. First up is the Super Saiyan Trio. I think the unit has some decent offensive potential in older events, as well as a decent leader skill with Super Saiyan. There are a lot of really good Super Saiyan characters in the game, as well as a lot of just Super Saiyan characters in general. So if we pull up the Super Saiyan category and we go over here, you guys are going to see, if we go over here to Super Saiyan, it's going to look a little bit different with it being like this, right? So if we go over here, you're going to see how many summonable LRs have we had this year that are Super Saiyans alone. We have 4 right here. And then, well, 3 summonable LRs, 1 free-to-play LR. In 2024, we have 4 right here. 1 for New Year's. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in 2022. 1, 2, 3, right? 3 in 2021. Just a lot of good Super Saiyan characters. We come down here to the TURs. We have Daima Goku, right? We have Super Saiyan Vegeta from Saiyan Day, Super Trunks, God Goku. You guys get the idea. Super Saiyans are very common in the game. So when we look at this right here, I think that he is really good for being okay. Again, okay offense, okay defense, and I think that really just kind of sums up what the character is. Sort of Hope Trunks has an okay standby and some good defensive qualities, but he is just mainly going to be normal attacks, and that can be extremely frustrating when you're trying to use a character for some damage output or defensive tanking. I don't really think he excels in either category at this point. He just sometimes looks pretty good in very specific instances, so I wouldn't really count on this character too much, but again, they can be okay. The Ribrianne Trio is mostly known for their giant form. That's really kind of what you're going to get out of them. If you don't know, the giant form takes away super attacks and AoEs. Very important in most forms of content because super attacks are the boss's way of taking you out, right? Nowadays, normals hit pretty damn hard, but for a very long majority of Dokkan's modern content since about as long as I've been playing since about 2020, it's really been the boss's hard-hitting super attacks that have been the huge problem for a lot of units. So being able to take those away with the giant form, very nice, but they are lacking in some other qualities that do make them a bit tricky to run. So just keep that in mind. It's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows with that character, and that's just sort of how it is. Next up, we have Physical Gogeta Blue. Okay character. He has a taunt, right? I think he could be borderline good at times, but again, I just don't know if he's really going to be competing with characters that came out in 2025, like late 2024 and things like that. He's just okay. Again, the ability, he has some stacking abilities. He has the taunt that he's able to do, right? A decent active skill. The counter for blast is always very nice. But that taunt, it's really his taunt. He still has one of the best taunt, like when his taunt is active, it's one of the best effects in the game. Not because of the amount of damage it's doing, not because of the tank potential, but the fact that all the attacks are redirected to him and he cannot be hit. So when he cannot be hit, you guys know what that means. This taunt is objectively better than Beast Gohan's in terms of what it's doing. What makes Beast Gohan's taunt better is the fact that it is much easier to get. All he has to do is be hit. So, just keep that in mind. That is why I think that Gogeta has a better taunt effect, but just not a better taunt active condition. Next up, I have the 9th Anniversary Gammas, a fun character with a standby and just an overall aesthetically fun unit. When it comes to effectiveness, you're really relying, let's slow down, you're really relying on them being able to do all of their different supers and stuff like that, getting their orbs that they need. This is a very needy character in terms of what they're after. But again, you are going to be rewarded if you can fulfill those needs and make this character run at their full potential. I think that they do have some fun qualities and redeeming qualities, but overall, they are not one of the best characters in the game right now. I think OK is really as high as I can go for them. Next up is Captain Ginyu. With Captain Ginyu, again, you're very restricted to like running special pose of the Ginyu Force setup. And this is a unit I'm sure a lot of you guys actually don't have due to the fact of like where you can summon from him. It's a legendary summon character, so you can only summon for him on carnival banners and legendary summons. And you guys know that we tell you to skip all legendary summons anyway. So just keep that in mind. Again, very restricted to special pose and Ginyu Force, which is not really a team right now. The same thing could be said for Ultimate Gohan, where you really need to be running him on a Majin Buu Saga team, and right now, especially, that team is not the best. Gohan and Piccolo, just a very forgettable character. Honestly, it's one of those characters I just have like no experience running, and the Namek Saga team is not really a team right now. Next up, LR Bulma. She's good support. That's all you really need to know. We Saiyans have no limits. They have okay slot 1 dodge potential and some stacking abilities, but they are really not holding up their end in modern content. Next up, we have Orange Piccolo. With Orange Piccolo in specific, you are mainly going to be looking for his ability to take away AoEs and supers, just like we looked at with Brienne, Kakunsa, and Rosie. The problem is that this Orange Piccolo does die to supers. Namek Vegeta and Goku, just okay. Krillin and Gohan, just okay. 17 and Frieza, just okay. 17 and Frieza, especially on their first turn, have really good damage reduction, but not the numbers to boot. Jiren, good linking partner for AGL Jiren, again, just okay. Evo Ken, decent running with rainbow orb changing and things like that. Red U. I'm all legends coded for some reason. STR UI Goku can dodge a lot, but can't take a normal, can't take any hits. Otherwise, you lose. This Vegeta and Nappa are goated for World Tournament, and then the rest of these LR EZAs right here are just okay. Next up, we have the A tier, and now things are starting to sort of fill in with in terms of 2024, 2025 releases and things like that. That is what we're looking at here with the good tier. To sort of sum this one up, these are just characters that are not top of the line, but they are characters that can be ran in limited quantities. I think this AGL Omega Shenron right now is a prime example of that, and same thing with the Broly trio. I think that these characters can be ran in their quantities extremely well. If you have an orb changer for the Broly trio, they're never going to get hit. If you have rainbow orb changing, the damage reduction for this Omega Shenron on the Omega Shenron team is going to be very good, right? You have this Vegito, he's okay, right? I would say he's borderline good. Buhan is borderline good. Cell Max is okay, borderline good. Tech UI, it's the same thing. He has the domain with dodge canceling, dodge nullifying, right? The TIERLIST can be ran on the movie bosses team. Pikkon can be ran elsewhere. The Super Saiyan trio can be ran on the Super Saiyan team. Gohan can be ran on like full power, Hyper Saiyans, Goku family, all of that stuff. For Buu Saga, I think this Vegeta's good, can put up some impressive attack stats. The evolution blue Vegetas, you know, he has his defensive capabilities. He has his festival capabilities. The Broly content, or in Broly in short form content, is very good because of his domain. I think you're often going to be finding him excelling in that form of content with his ability to revive as well. A revive is very, very good in this day and age. In terms of in terms of viability, and a revive is always nice. AGL Jiren, it's sort of the same thing where he is a really good standby, where he's essentially invincible. But the problem is that his high attack stat doesn't really match what you're looking to do, because of the fact that this game, especially right now with damage, you're getting it in the form of multiple attacks, right? Tech Vegito is not the hardest hitting character in the game because of his attack stats. It's a sheer amount of attacks that he's doing. It's the crits that he has. It's the counters. It's not just something like that. So you just have to keep that in mind. Despite full power Jiren doing a very hard hitting attack, it's just not going to be, the APT is going to be nowhere near as high as somebody like Tech Vegito. So that is sort of what I have to say about him. Standby Family Kamehameha Gohan, good in limited quantities. I don't think his standby is really good enough at this point defensively to hold it down. God Goku and Hit are limited to the Universe Survival Saga team, basically, and they're just going to be floating there permanently. This Super Saiyan Broly right here from the 9-year anniversary can attack stack and stuff like that, works on super bosses just a little bit, but overall right now, I wouldn't say he's even close to one of the best characters in the game. Future Gohan can look okay as well on like the STR Blue Boys team with its damage reduction and stuff like that, with the support that's coming in from that STR Blue Goku and Vegeta. Tech Zamasu, again, just pretty good, runs real well on like the Omega Shenron team, super bosses, things like that, next to STR Rose and Zamasu. Kaioken Goku, the damage reduction per STR orb is always nice, but this character is not going to consistently be great for you. Janemba is good, right? Has a giant form or a rage mode that's nice to take away supers and AoEs, has good dodge potential, guard, damage reduction, all of those things that you need. This guy, good with his scouter. Both of these characters are mainly for their scouters at this point. Buhan, good stacking, dodge, guard, all of that stuff. Tech Broly, super high attack potential, and then nuking potential from this Gohan right here. Next up, I have the Great Tier, and this one is a little bit smaller, right? We can sort of do something like that. This is reserved for characters who are very good on their teams, borderline elite, but not quite top of the top, right? This is like your 13 to 20 range in terms of where the characters would be. And all of these characters have their own usages. Starting off with AGL Gogeta, one of the best characters in the game for Festival of Battles. But the drawback to that is he is borderline unrunnable in some of this new content from GDC and stuff like that. It is a damn shame because I really like this character. With Tech Gohan, a very good stacker, has deceptively good defense. So you always have that in your back pocket. UI Goku, the turn 1 dodge, the revival, the guaranteed dodging after that, works out pretty damn well, especially in short form content from GDC and stuff like that. The Rose Zamasu event, the Gohan fight, Festival of Battles, you're not really running this character, and it is what it is. Golden Frieza, very nice versatility monster in terms especially of short form content. With Golden Frieza, you are going to constantly be having high damage reduction. You have your guard, you have the ability to work extremely well with the Gogeta and Golden Frieza unit, which is one of the best characters in the game right now. So you just have a lot of things working in your favor when you are using this Golden Frieza. LRTN, very good for the Rose and Zamasu fight, very good on the Tau team. Just not a unit I'm running constantly, but I do think he is very good. Kale and Caulifla, same sort of idea. They have options for guaranteed dodge, for damage reduction. Kale just can struggle with crits at times, and I think that can be a little bit frustrating, but overall, I think that they are very, very good. With Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, short content is really where you're going to get the most out of that character, and I often find him to be quite the enjoyable unit to run, especially on like a fused fighter setup or something like that. You will find that this character is holding it down for you very well and is doing his job exceptionally well. He has the ability to get to the 99% damage reduction with a Ki Blast Super, and he's also going to counter that Ki Blast Super, and he's going to hit like a freight train on that back. That's a little bit of a boost. He's going to hit very hard back. That's a freight train's a bit aggressive. Broly and Beast Gohan are basically the same character in terms of the role they are providing to the team, so we will treat them like one character. They are both short form, early onset damage reduction, very hard to get through in the beginning of the fight, but then after like an intro buff wears off or something like that, you are going to be in a little bit of trouble with that character. Fusion Zamasu works extremely well on the Super Bosses team, Future Saga, Time Traveler, Realm of Gods, all of that stuff. Easy access to crits, easy access to ki, easy access to damage reduction, things like that. Very well designed unit for an EZA. Trunks and Vegeta, excuse me, a Festival of Battles ace, one of the best Festival of Battles characters in the game right now. Can't understate that value, right? This is a very hard event that a lot of players are struggling with and very reluctant to play, but Trunks and Vegeta can opt for a very smooth run if you are running them in the Festival of Battles. Tech grade 8 Vegeta, good for short form content and stuff like that, has decent slot 1 capabilities, especially if you run him next to AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku. You are going to notice the character the most in that specific instance, just because of the extra damage reduction support. They are sort of like what Beast Gohan was. At least that is like the overall comp. I don't think he was as dominant as Beast Gohan on release, but he was still very good. Next up, AGL Full Power Frieza and Int Namek Goku. I think that they both fulfill a very similar role where they are just monsters in the Festival of Battles due to their stacking potential. And Namek Goku is one of those characters once you get his defense where it needs to be, you can just kind of float him off and he can do his thing in there. And I think that works out very well. Frieza can be ran on the AGL Gogeta team. So having that in your back pocket is always nice. Stacking, the damage reduction, all the offensive capabilities that he has. Because if he's up against a superclass enemy, he is going to be doing those guaranteed crits and getting that additional super if he is potentially hit in slot 1. So very good stacking characters for the Festival of Battles are going to be these 3 right here. And then the super easy A for Trunks and Trunks and Goku. Wow. Okay. Vilify, look at me, all right? Slow down. What rush are you in? Trunks and Goten, the Mighty Mask Super Easy A. This is a very good LR Super Easy A that works out on a team that desperately needs it. The Youth/Hybrid Saiyans team is in desperate need of a unit like this, and I think that they fulfill their role very well. So that does it for the great tier. Let's go ahead and move on to the amazing and best in-game tier. So these are the last 2 here. We'll zoom in a little bit just so we can sort of break this down right here. These are the best characters in the game right now. I think that the damage output of Gogeta 4 is why he's in best in game in Z. We have Omega Shenron. You guys know he just has like one of the best teams in Dokkan right now. That team is absolutely insane. The STR Blue Boys have their easy ability to dodge, their easy ability to have damage reduction, the active skill that they have for the Festival of Battles. This unit in specific is just runnable like everywhere. Anywhere you want to put this unit, you can run them, right? The Blue Boys, short form content, they have dodge. Dodge disabling, they have the active skill to get around that. Long form content that they have the ability to stack their attack, and then Trunks and Vegeta, who you can run on their team, that can make up for the lack of defensive stacking, right? They have all of these tools. They have an active skill that hits like a truck with Vegeta if you need it for the Daima phase in the Festival of Battles. All of these things matter. The ability to run this character essentially in any way you want is why I have them so high here on the Z tier. The Omega Shenron team might just be one of the most consistent teams in the game right now for offensive and defensive capabilities. I am like always blown away with how easy the game feels at times when you are running the Omega Shenron team. AGL Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, you guys know, fits on a lot of the best teams in the game. Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Fused Fighters, GT heroes, things like that. He is just going to fit in for you very, 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 very well. So keep that in mind. STR Rose, Super Bosses, the Omega Shenron team. Every time the Omega Shenron team gets a buff, this guy is a recipient of that buff as well. So he's up here as well with his damage reduction, his guard, right? The ability to stack his attack. He can do a real like low amount of damage. And then you have Gohan here, who is very good as well. So that is the Z tier. And then if we look at S+, we have the Year 7s who basically excel in all forms of content in the game. The only time they're really vulnerable is on that turn 3 where their damage reduction does wear off. But on turn 4, they have that ability to potentially fuse in short form content and transform and get that damage reduction back. And then Gogeta has his counters for the Festival of Battles mainly, but also in general. So very easy activation conditions for that. And then the gods have their ability to dodge and sort of bob and weave around there. Golden Frieza and Gogeta, also very good character, especially when you fuse into Gogeta. I think that if Golden Frieza was a little bit better, we would be looking at something like this. But for the fact that Golden Frieza, I think, is a little bit suspect, is going to be the same case why I'm not putting them in the Z tier. Now, when it comes to Wrathful Broly, the focus of the main focal point of today's thumbnail, he is an S+ because I just don't think he's consistent everywhere, especially in the modern content with GDC and things like that. I just don't think he was designed well enough for it. But if you are somebody who is more worried about the Festival of Battles, well, I have good news for you because you were given a quite gracious gift. This character in the Festival of Battles is absolutely nuts. One of the best in the game. Super easy to run in there on really any team that you want to run him on, and he should be good to go. He is capable of one-turning almost every phase if things go your way, especially when you have him stacked up. And then 2 other characters here, Goku, Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, much better for that short-form content. And then this guy is good for the Festival of Battles with his taunt. Probably the best Festival of Battles character in the game, right next to this Broly. So that's the tier list right now. If we go here to the end, we'll kind of zoom out a bit. Much bigger thumbnail than her tier list here than usual, but these are all the LRs in the game right now ranked. And if you are a new player, this could potentially be useful for you. So let me know down below what you guys think. Do you agree with this tier list and all of that fun stuff? Shout out to all my members over on the YouTube side of things. You can, if you want to join yourself, go ahead and click the link in the description. It is greatly appreciated and helps support the channel. Means the world to me. Next up, if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one.